Hey guys, PK here. Hope you're doing well. It's raining here in Sydney. Just starting to drizzle actually, so I'll make this quick. So how not to pick a growth suburb? I think a lot of people, a lot of property investors, especially those who have smaller portfolios under, let's say 5 properties, still are sort of relying on hearsay to magically pick a property that will increase in value, right? So ask yourself, have you ever listened to a podcast? Have you ever read an article in a property investment magazine, or an article online, or a Facebook group, or a chat forum, and been scouring for tips on where to buy? For example, this person is saying to buy in a particular area in Ballarat, or this other person is saying to buy in a particular area in Brisbane, and this other person is saying to buy in a particular area in Adelaide. And have you ever tried to gather all of those pieces of recommendation and try to line them up to say, okay, well, in the last 3 months when I've done my research, I found that most people are talking about Adelaide, so let me buy in Adelaide, right? How many times have you done that, sort of gone around different content providers and tried to line up who's saying what and what the key themes are, okay? This is what I used to do as well, and it's really not a good idea. It's like saying, imagine if I was to say to you right now, hey, you want to invest in the ASX 300 stock market. I think BHP Billiton's going to do really well, and here are the 3 reasons I think they're going to do well. Over the long term, energy prices are going to be really good. The stock market's taken a bit of a battering, so it's going to increase. And the third one is it's a really large company, so low risk. Okay, so would you buy BHP? Chances are you wouldn't, right? Because who am I? I'm just some random guy. Even though I provided some good information, some good stats, some good background to why I recommend BHP, I don't think any of you would actually take my suggestion or my recommendation to buy BHP. But when it comes to property, people do take recommendations. So if I said to you right now, I think you should be buying in Tengelper, southeast Brisbane, hasn't grown in value for the last 5 or 6 years that much. Yields are, above 5%. You can do a renovation there and easily extract about $40,000, $50,000 of equity by putting in about $10,000, $20,000. The list goes on. All of a sudden, you'd start to get really happy and really excited about Tengelper, and you'd start to look into it. And chances are, everyone who watches this video, there will be some people that actually get really tempted to buy in Tengelper. Okay, so why is it that property investors act that way? Why is it that property investors try to accumulate tips on which suburbs to buy, and as soon as they get 3 different commentators or 5 different commentators or experts, gurus, saying the same thing, they make up their mind and say, I'm buying in Tengelper, right? And that's really, really not a good idea, right? Because what happens in the commentator space and the expert space is one person starts to big up Brisbane, and then the other person, who may or may not know that much, actually starts to big up Brisbane as well, using the same content drivers as the first person. And then the third person starts to say the same because they've heard 2 people say it, and it starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is exactly what's happened in Brisbane. 6 or 7 years ago, people started bigging up Logan. And then I think there must have been hundreds and thousands of people in Sydney and Melbourne that jumped on the Logan bandwagon, and that was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Then a whole bunch of other people, buyers agents, others, started getting in Logan, and then everyone and their dog wanted to buy in Logan. And to this day, people love Brisbane or Logan, right? And I'm not saying Logan's bad, there's good and bad pockets, but I'm just using it as an example. It hasn't been the best investment, okay? Everyone, 90% of commentators in the property market have been bigging up Logan, but there was a massive opportunity cost in buying in Logan 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. You could have done much, much, much better. So the moral of the story really is, don't listen to me, all right? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone else when it comes to where you should buy. Of course, you know, if you're paying someone like a buyer's agent and they have a lot of robust data to back up a recommendation, you know, that makes a lot of sense. But don't just try to accumulate, sweep up free advice from a podcast, from a forum, from a group, from a book, from a magazine, etc., and say that you're researching, because the only person we're fooling in that sort of approach is ourselves, okay? And I've been there as well. This isn't an attack on anyone. In fact, it's an attack on myself, okay? So don't listen to me or don't listen to anyone when it comes to free advice on where to buy, okay? Don't sweep up and just make up your mind based on 5 people are saying buy here or buy there. It doesn't work like that. You know, just because 10 people say to buy BHP stock, you shouldn't buy BHP stock. Property markets are no different, okay? There's a science of how to find good suburbs that will increase in value, suburbs that will provide income in the short term and the long term. This is a science, right? Don't do yourself a disservice by taking a shortcut and just trusting someone, okay? Trust is good if you're paying money to that person and that person is only being rewarded by you, right? But don't trust anyone that's providing advice for free, right? That's not to say they're bad people, but we need to do this analysis ourselves, guys, okay? So hope that was useful. Hopefully you understood the context that I was saying this in. This is not an attack at anyone. All I'm saying is don't listen to 5 podcasts and then decide to buy in Brisbane, okay? All right, hopefully that was useful. If you liked it, if you loved anything that I said, if it was useful, please leave me a like so I can actually understand that you guys are getting something out of this. And if you disagree, feel free to comment below as well. And also, if you agree, please comment below as well. I'd love to, you know, actually see who's watching this and who's agreeing or disagreeing or having any comments in the middle. All right, have a great Saturday. See you later, guys.